Okay, who does anonymity benefit the most? Who loses?
Yeah, there's a lot of ways that anonymity can be used for good and for bad, right? And so for good, I think of on Yik Yak. I'll often follow what is posted on Yik Yak, and it's actually similar to an app you were showing me right before we walked out here called Vent, and where a lot of popular Yik Yaks popular yaks are sort of declaring some sort of an issue, like maybe something that you're not allowed to speak in public or like depression. Like, I'm going to talk about my depression here. Well, you're told not to do that you're not supposed to talk about that. But when you give somebody anonymity, it becomes okay, and other people who can relate to this thing that you're talking about say, oh yeah, like I relate to that, and you might give that a positive vote, and that acts as some sort of social support for the person posting it. Or think about protesters, people who are living under repressive regimes, where anonymity can be as essential for being able to communicate and organize. And but then, of course, anonymity is also often used for horrible, terrible reasons, as 4chan and 8chan and Reddit and Anonymous oftentimes exhibit that anonymity can be used as an excuse of doing anything bad without repercussion. So it's good and bad, right?
Yeah. I think when we're promoting our personal brand, right, that's when we only show performance of happiness, right? It's like, I'm amazing. I'm like doing so wonderful. Like, you need to be keeping up with me. I'm not keeping up with you. And then when we have anonymity, like, I'll try to show you guys, like the Vent app. It's like amazing. It's kind of this like cutely dystopian thing where you can you pick your emotion. You pick from, like, are you feeling in the range of happy? Are you like kind of sad? Are you feeling scared, right? Okay, so it's like color-coded like this. I don't know if you
Everybody
guys can
can
see.
read that, right?
Right, and it'll say like, it's like red, it's like angry or annoyed or bitter or disgusted, right? And then you select that. And then you like say something, and people can respond saying like, same, or like, here for you, or like, I care about you. And it's like a validation of your feelings without costing you anything, like in your social network, your like real life social network, for like admitting your vulnerability.
Yeah. I think it was really interesting that so many of our anonymous platforms are dominated by white guys.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know, because so I was reading 4chan the other day, and like in some ways, I mean, many of them are monsters, but I identify with them a little bit because like my whole life I've loved to troll. I mean, I wouldn't have had that word in high school, but like I loved provoking people and like pissing people off and getting on their nerves, and like I completely understand like the instinct to want to enrage like a million people at once, right? Like, I mean, what kind of thrill would that be? Like, especially if you are unhappy with your place in society. Like, maybe you're not good at sports, right? You're a boy, you feel a little bit like impotent and frustrated, and you can go online and like make all these adults just like cry. Like, I understand the instinct for that. And I also don't know how you like engineer that away. And if you did try to get rid of it, it would be smothering. I have trolled anonymously. I've never, my handle was Biff. I've always loved to troll as like a swaggering macho guy, because it's like so funny to me. I like love doing the satire of it. And we would just go on this conservative blog and try to out-conservative, be like, no, you don't love America like we do. So I think if you got rid of that, it would really suck. It would be no fun.
You should have run for president.
I know. Right, yeah, I was ahead of my time.
Right. What if that whole thing is a joke? What if this is all just a joke?
I've really thought about that.
Even people are voting, going, aha, what a funny joke. All right. And then we have to deal with the consequences. All right. Last question. Search engines and increasingly social media platforms prioritize what's popular, not what's necessarily most true or important to know. Does veracity stand a chance anymore?